Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing? Man, Antonelli here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Matt Antonelli here. So today, we're going to unveil my second baseball card purchase of 2020. So I'm starting a baseball collection again. If you guys didn't see the first video, head over there and check that out where we unveil my first baseball card that I bought this year. But I used to collect cards when I was younger, got away from it for like 20 years, and now I want to get back into it. So I'm going to continue to unveil new cards that I'm buying. Today's player. This player is exciting. This might be, well, there's one other guy that I haven't unveiled yet that might be my favorite player on this list. But this guy right here has got a chance to go down as one of the all-time greats. He has an unbelievable combination of power and speed. He's super, super young. Probably already know who I'm talking about, but let me show you the card right now. And then we're going to get more into exactly why I bought it. We're going to look at the statistics. We're going to break down his career and what I foresee him doing in the future. So, today's card is little Ronald Acuna Jr. It's a pretty card right there, don't you think? I think that's a pretty card. So, it's a 2018 Topps Update at bat in his blue jersey. Man, that's a nice one. So I am super, super pumped to get this card. So I told you guys in last video, my strategy as of right now is to kind of grab the players, the current players that are very young. So I've been starting off with guys under 25, right? So last week, you got to go check out that video, see who I got. But this is my number 2 player under 25 in the big leagues right now. It could be the number 1 player. The number 1 player and the number 2 player are super, super close. And I might be unveiling my number 1 player maybe in my next card video. We'll see. But my number 2 player in my under 25 list. So this guy has... obviously, he's very, very young, right? He's 22 years old. He played as a 20-year-old and a 21-year-old in the big league so far, and he's dominated. But this guy, I know a lot can happen, right? Guy could get injured tomorrow and never play baseball again. But if he stays healthy, he has the skill set to be a 40-40 player. He was almost a 40-40 player last year. He could potentially, I don't think it's out of this world to think that he could be a 50-50 player. And if he's a 50-50 player at some point, I know that sounds outrageous, but if he's ever a 50-50 player, like that's unheard of. Like no one's done that. That would be incredible. And I think that he actually has the ability to potentially do that at some point in his career. So let's get into, let's do a little background info on him. Then let's look at his stats. In the comment section below, put what you guys think about this. I'm assuming most people, right, this card was a really sought after card. I ended up spending like $202, I think, on it. And so a lot of people are trying to get their hands on Acuna cards, right? It's no secret. Like everybody knows he's a great player. But again, I wanted to kind of get him to start off my collection because he is a great player, right? So let's go ahead and get him. So first off, Acuna signed with the Braves as an international free agent in 2014 for $100,000. Hello, that's a pretty good deal. Very nice job there with international scouting by the Braves. Venezuelan player, and so beautiful, beautiful pickup there in signing by the Braves. So then heading into the 2018 season, which he made his major league debut during that year, Baseball America named him the number 1 prospect in all of baseball. So he has been known as the stud, the guy, basically ever since he stepped foot on a professional field. So then very quickly, 2018, April 25th, I think it was, he made his major league debut at the age of only 20 years old. He was the youngest player at that time when he made his debut. He was the youngest player in the big leagues, okay? So 2018, amazing year, wins Rookie of the Year, okay? Then 2019, this past season, he becomes an all-star. He wins a Silver Slugger. He almost goes 40-40. So just incredible, incredible start to a young career. And the sky is really the limit for Acuna Jr. Now, before we get into his stats, if you just look at his WAR, wins above replacement, he had a WAR of almost 6 this past year, and so far for his career, he has just under 10 WAR. And keep in mind that he's just 22, right? So he played as a 20-year-old, as a 21-year-old. He'll play as a 22-year-old this year if hopefully we play baseball. Now, so he basically has 10 WAR already, right? Before the age of 22. Now just think about this. If you look at Hall of Famers that play his position, the average WAR for his position is a 65.6, I think it was. And if you look at their 7-year peaks, it's like a 41.7. Okay, so think about that career WAR of a 65. He put up a WAR of basically 6 this past year, already has 10. You're looking at, let's just say and I know he played unbelievable, right? And I know it's not easy to get have 6 WAR in a season, but with his talent, I don't think that that's out of the question. If he does that for another, say, like 9 years, you might be like, wow, that's a long time. He's got to do it for 9 more years. Yeah, in 9 more years, he's going to be like 30 years old, 31 years old. So, I mean, he has the potential, if he can, again, staying healthy, yes, he has the potential to make the Hall of Fame, easily make the Hall of Fame, if he can continue to do what he's doing. And he doesn't even have to do it for a super long time. He just has to stay healthy for a little bit here. Even if he does this or somewhere close to this until he's like 30, 31-ish, he's already going to have the Hall of Fame locked up, which is incredible to think about. But that's when you start your career this young and you're this dominant, this young, your chances of making the Hall of Fame obviously drastically improve because your career could be so potentially long. He could have almost a 20-year career, which is mind-boggling. Okay, so now let's look at his statistics. So here's 2018, his rookie year, and 2019. We'll focus in just on 2019, but you can take a peek at 18 if you'd like. So this past year, played almost every game, 156 games, had over 700 plate appearances, 127 runs scored, 175 hits, 22 doubles, 2 triples, 41 home runs. So ridiculous power. 41 home runs, 101 RBI, 37 stolen bases. So here's what I'm talking about, the potential 40-40. And I know 50-50 sounds absolutely crazy, but there's really not many guys. There's barely anyone that can do a 40-40 season. And this guy at 21 years old almost did it. That's why I'm saying, like, 50-50 is not out of the question for this guy because he's a freak show. Let's see, 76 walks. He did have 188 strikeouts. Hit 280, so a little bit down from his first season, but still solid. On base of 365. He slugged 518 for an OPS of 883. And then if you look at his OPS plus of 122, and was a Silver Slugger, was an All-Star, and finished 5th in the NL MVP race. Now let's look at, so I like to also look at Statcast numbers or Baseball Savant, whatever you want to call it. If you look at his percentile rankings for this past season, exit velocity, 78. So anything, as you can see, anything in red is great. Blue is not good, poor. Hard hit percentage, 89 percentile. So he ranks really high and just squaring the ball up, hitting the ball hard. Expected weighted on base average, 93. So again, just hitting the ball hard as hell, squaring it up. Expected batting average, 78th percentile. Expected slugging, 94th percentile. Barrel percentage, 95th percentile. So he's hitting the ball hard on really good ball flight. Launch angle for everyone that likes to use that word now. So here's where he struggles a little bit. K percentage, 19th percentile. So striking out a little bit too much. Whiff percentage is high also. Those go together, clearly. But again, when you're hitting 40-something home runs and his batting average is still pretty good and his on-base is pretty good, striking out, that's okay. Like, I'll take some strikeouts, and that should improve as he, continues to get older. You got to remember, he's 21 last year. Sprint speed, 96th percentile, so one of the fastest guys in the league. So that power speed combination is just out of this world. Outs above average is 27th percentile. And so now you're looking at defense, and they've got him rated as not a great defender. Again, with the sprint speed, you would think that would continue. Like, he has the tool set to be a pretty good outfielder, and so I think with experience that will continue to get better. And then outfield jumps, he's around average, maybe a little bit above average at 56th percentile. And so here's some more stats. If we look at by Statcast, they come out with a couple of interesting stats. Red, again, red means you're really, really good. And so you can see a whole lot of red. You actually see a ton of red on this 2018 season. 2019 season, obviously, lots of red. Also, and then you can see at the bottom here, it just shows, what the rest of the MLB is doing. So barrel percentage, 15%. Really, really good, obviously. One of the best in the league. There's his exit velocity at 90.6. So not like a top exit velocity. Again, it's not always how hard you hit them, but how often you hit them hard. And so he hits them hard often, which is always a good thing. There's his launch angle, 14.2, so a little uptick from his first year. Again, higher than if you look at what most players, what the MLB is doing. Let's see, what else? And then you see the expected slugging, the weighted on base. Again, weighted on base this year wasn't as great as his first year, but still very, very solid. Expected weighted on base average, 386. And then you've got this weighted on base average con. I think you need some type of science degree to figure that one out, or maybe a math degree. But just know it's red, so that means it's good. And then hard hit percentage, hitting the ball really, really hard again. So K percentage is, again, a little high, and hopefully he'll continue to work on that. I'm sure he'll get better at that as he goes. And then I'm going to throw up here real quick, just to take a look again at the speed that he has, right? So sprint speed, one of the tops in the league. Home the first time, 4.19. Bolts is 44. We don't really have to get into that right now. And so everything that he's doing as far as running speed, he's one of the tops in the league. Again, with that power, it is crazy what his skill set is going to allow him to do. And then this is the interesting thing too. How about the Braves? So not only do the Braves sign him for $100,000, which is like the greatest bargain of all time, but then they get him locked up to a long-term contract, which is unbelievable. Let's take a peek at it real quick. So he made $545 as a 20-year-old, and then he made $560 as a 21-year-old. He's going to make $1 million this year. And then he's going to make $5 million in 2021. And then he gets the jump. And you might be like, oh, that's a pretty good jump there, right? But they've got him locked up. So let's count all the years they have him under control. If you go back to when he was 20 years old. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10, 11. They have 2 team options. So 11 years. They can have him for 11 years. That's $17 million. Do you know what that $17 million is going to look like? If he continues to do what he's doing right now, that $17 million contract is going to be probably one of the greatest contracts ever. When I do franchise mode and MLB The Show, like the first guy I wanted to get was Acuna, because that contract is unbelievable for what he's going to do. He's going to be he's got the potential to be a 40-40 guy every year, maybe a 50-50 guy every year, one of the top players in the league. You're talking about an MVP caliber player. For if he's doing, like, most players get better, especially when they're only low 20s. I don't think he's peaked out. And so he should continue to get better, which is crazy to think about. But just imagine if he gets better and in a few years he's playing for $17 million or even $15 million in 2022. Or how about $5 million in 2021 or $1 million this year? So amazing deal by the Braves. Great job signing the guy. Scouting, signing, developing, or just throwing him out in the field. I don't know, they'd probably just throw him out in the field. And then signing him, realizing the talent, signing him to a contract, give him some security. But in the long run, you're going to dominate this contract because the guy is going to play like a 30 or 40 or $50 million a year player at some point, and you're going to be paying him $17 million a year. You know, when we get to 2025, 2024, 2025, 2026, like $17 million, like that's going to be nothing, right? Right now, it's like the best players are getting paid a lot more than that. So anyways, great deal. Great job by the Braves. So long story short, that's why I decided to make Ronald Acuna Jr. my second choice. He was actually probably my first choice, but I got the other card in before this card, and so that's why you're seeing it now. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Tell me who you think I should make my next player on the list. Maybe I already bought him. I'm not going to tell you who my number 3 is. I bought my number 3. I'm waiting to, I'll show you guys him probably in a couple of days, okay? But let me know who it should be, and give me some more ideas. If you have specific cards that you want me to check out and buy, put it in the comment section below, or you can just put players, that's fine too. But any advice is welcome. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Comment in the section below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Hit the notification bell. Give the video a thumbs up. Thank you to our patrons on Patreon for helping support the channel. We really appreciate it. And if you like video games, you like MLB The Show 20 or other video games, go check out our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Antonelli Baseball, where I'm streaming MLB The Show 20 quite often. Maybe you can even play against me. Go check it out. We'll talk to you later.